Today, we will embark on a profound and enlightening journey through the concept of the guardians of the spiritual body as presented in ancient scriptures. When exploring these mystical beings, we must connect directly with sacred texts, esoteric mysteries, and spiritual traditions that have shaped human understanding of protection, energy, and spirituality over the centuries. From the outset, it is crucial to understand that these guardians are not merely mythical figures or folkloric characters, but representations of subtle and intriguing knowledge about how the spiritual universe interacts with us, human beings. They are mentioned in various cultures and scriptures, from Hindu and Buddhist texts to Gnostic writings and ancient Egyptian traditions. In the Hindu universe, we find one of the earliest references to spiritual guardians in the Atharva Veda. This ancient text describes entities that protect the human spiritual body, ensuring the maintenance of vital energy. According to the Atharva Veda, the guardians, called Rakshasas, are not demons as commonly interpreted, but beings that ensure the spiritual strength and purity of our vital energies. These Rakshasas protect the prana, the energy that circulates and sustains life, being responsible for warding off negative vibrations and malevolent entities that seek to drain this energy. One of the most notable passages of this text tells us, "May the Rakshasas watch over my breath, may my thoughts be protected, and may these guardians become my fortress against all visible and invisible evils." As we move into Buddhist traditions, the concept of spiritual guardians takes on a different but equally profound form. In Tibetan Buddhism, for example, we find the figures of the Dharmapalas, protectors of the Dharma, who not only watch over the spiritual body, but also the spiritual practice and sacred temples. These entities are personifications of wisdom, protection, and spiritual strength, often represented in fierce forms to ward off the forces of ignorance and negativity. The Bardo Thodol, popularly known as the Tibetan Book of the Dead, is a literary and spiritual heritage that leads us directly to the understanding of spiritual guardians in the context of the afterlife. The Dharmapalas, described in the Bardo Thodol, play a crucial role in the soul's transition to higher spiritual realms, protecting it against entities that seek to induce undesirable rebirth or karmic losses. Delving even deeper into our studies, we find in Gnostic and Hermetic traditions a rich tapestry of teachings about spiritual guardians. In the texts of the Nag Hammadi Library, a compilation of Gnostic writings discovered in Egypt in the 20th century, guardians are mentioned who watch over the celestial realms and astral planes. A significant example is found in the text Pistis Sophia, where Jesus, after the resurrection, teaches his disciples about the different guardians of the heavens and the spiritual paths the soul must follow to ascend. The Gnostic approach emphasizes that these guardians are not only protectors, but also guides who reveal spiritual secrets to sincere seekers. They are intermediaries between the physical world and spiritual realms, serving as mentors and protectors at the same time. Grounding ourselves even more in this vast field of knowledge, we turn our attention to ancient Egyptian cosmology. In the Book of the Dead, a funerary text aimed at guiding the soul through the afterlife, we find several references to guardians who oversee the gates of the underworld. These entities, often represented as anthropomorphic figures with animal heads, are responsible for testing the purity and justice of the deceased soul. An emblematic passage from the Book of the Dead describes the moment when the soul crosses the Hall of Truth, where it is judged by Osiris and other gods. The guardians here play the crucial role of checks and balances, ensuring that only those with a pure heart advance to the fields of eternal peace, while others are sent to realms of purification. The study of spiritual guardians is only complete when we also examine their dark counterparts, the entities they combat. Many traditions speak of malevolent spirits or negative energies that seek to disrupt human spiritual harmony. These can be found in descriptions of demons in Christianity, asuras in Hinduism, and jinns in Islam. The function of the guardians, therefore, is twofold: to protect and to educate. They maintain the integrity of the spiritual body and also instruct the individual in spiritual practices that will strengthen their resistance to negative forces. The concept of guardians is a constant reminder of the need for balance and vigilance in our spiritual practices, a teaching that echoes through cultures and millennia. For this knowledge not to remain merely a historical datum, it is essential to apply it in our daily lives. The practice of meditation, for example, can be a way to tune our consciousness with these guardians, asking for their protection and guidance. By focusing on breathing and visualizing a protective light around you, you are, in essence, calling for their protection. Additionally, specific mantras and prayers from various traditions can be used to invoke the protection of these guardians. In Hinduism, the mantra Om Gum Ganapataye Namaha invokes the aid of Ganesha, while in Tibetan Buddhism, the mantra Om Benza Sato Hung is used for purification and spiritual protection. Knowing about spiritual guardians leads to the understanding that we are in a cosmic protective network, a reminder that we are never truly alone in our spiritual journeys. These protectors watch over our evolution, ensuring that we can overcome our spiritual challenges and advance toward enlightenment. By internalizing this knowledge and making daily adjustments in our spiritual practices, we can position ourselves more centered and secure. Remember, dear ones, that ancient scriptures should not be read only as texts of the past, but as living manuals that guide our spiritual existence in the present. I leave each of you the responsibility and privilege to delve deeper into these studies, seeking not only theoretical knowledge, but the practical experience and spiritual living of the Guardian's protection. May each day of your journey be constantly illuminated, protected, and guided by these benevolent and wise forces. Immense gratitude for accompanying me thus far. May the light and protection of spiritual guardians be with each of you today and always. Namaste.